Hi, my name is Nathaniel Moore, and welcome to the Self Concept Research Group podcast. This is the place where some of the greatest self concept coaches in the world come together to talk about the details of personal transformation. And today, I think you're going to really enjoy our session today. We're going to dive into the elements of grief. We have and how to transform grief. Today, Ismail has brought a client session in today. And of course, on our expert panel, we have Henning, Brandt, Rasmus, Pierre, and Chad. It's good to see you all.
Awesome. So to give you some context about the work, I was working with Tony, and Tony kindly allowed us to share a piece of our work together, so that we can demonstrate how to use NLP processes to make deep transformations. It's important to say that this is part of a longer work of multiple sessions where we were working on his self-concept, transforming different qualities. And at this point, we are transforming the quality of being joyful, you know. And while working on that quality, some memories came up, that were the opposite of joyful, and we grouped those memories. And when we started working through them, there was a category that was sadness, like sadness experiences. And within that category, we found a grief experience that was the core of that category. So we applied the grief process and worked through grief in this context of this larger structure of self-concept. Yeah, so it's important to introduce that. That's how we approach it. And there is the structure, which is self-concept, and then there is plugging in a specific process to work with a specific thing. So it's a sub-process within this larger structure of working with your self-concept. Okay, so in this part one, um, we have finding similarities, which is the thing that I mentioned about those memories. There are multiple memories that are the opposite of joy. So we are looking for similarities between those memories so that we can group them and work efficiently through them. This is part of the self-concept process, as part of that bigger structure. So let's see this chunk.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah,
Good, good. So let's check the counterexamples then. Like let's
sure.
bring the counterexamples to your workstation,
Okay,
right? And you mentioned four categories like
sure,
sadness, anger, first, and three categories like
sure.
sadness,
Uh,
anger, and frustration. Is there a way in which they are all similar?
um, other than being emotions, or they're all external from me. I'm realizing. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like they're all things that are have no control over.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean? Like things that are happen, things like they're it's either something, my reaction to something else, like which in that case it would be anger, but even sadness or whatever, something that happened outside has nothing to do with me usually,
Mhm.
and I usually have no control over it too,
Okay.
right? Yeah, I think that's probably the thing that's similar amongst all of them.
Very
So
interesting.
that's first little chunk.
It's really fascinating to me when examples are brought up and you can start to notice when the client can start to notice, or you when you're on doing your own personal work, how you can notice the patterns. It's pretty neat to see.
Yeah. So here the importance of this chunk is we are working efficiently, finding similarities between the memories, because usually there are hundreds of situations where the person is experiencing the opposite of what they want to experience. And to work with all those experiences, it's a lot. So we want to find what's similar between them, and as much as we can learn from one significant experience, a lesson that applies to all of them. Yeah, so that's a way of working efficiently. The second part is where the grief came up.
You know,
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, it is very
Which,
interesting.
which one's the worst of the worst?
Hmm,
Don't need to tell me the content, but like, can you
sure.
locate the worst?
I think sadness.
Have
Sadness.
you have a specific memory, a specific situation where you felt sad
Um,
about something you had no control over?
yeah, I mean, not sure which one to pick though.
Pick the one that stands out the most. That seems to be the worst.
Yeah, okay, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's keep just this one at your workstation and let the other ones go away for the
okay,
time being,
sure.
so that you can focus just on this one.
All right.
Now, be disassociated, see yourself over there,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
So what was the positive intention? So is this a situation where you were sad
Yeah.
because you were focusing on something that you had no control over?
It's when I'm right now I'm thinking of the time when my dad died. So,
Hmm.
which was about a year and a half ago now. Um, and plus even the time leading up to it, it was a lot of sadness there as a result of, him having dementia and stuff. So it was
Mhm.
uh it was a difficult time for our whole family, you know.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little different.
Yeah.
Like when sadness is like the sadness comes from the loss of a valued experience,
Yeah.
right? So when you remember your dad, like what do you remember? Do you remember those difficult moments and how when he passed away, or
Um, sometimes sometimes, yeah, sometimes good ones too. Yeah.
great?
So
Mhm.
should we focus on something else or because I can see where you're kind of getting at with this, whole act of, mourning and all that other stuff, but it might not be the best thing to work on right now. Or
Mhm. Yeah. So when you think of the positive memories, the moments,
yeah,
the good experiences that you had with your dad, the ones that you missed, right?
yeah, sure.
So when you remember those, like how do you feel?
Mm, it's kind of at this point, it's probably melancholy. Like those 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 memories are gone, right? Well, I mean, they're there. The memories are there, but the experiences I'll probably never have again. So
Okay, so
yeah,
you
yeah,
felt like you have a sense of loss, like you
yeah,
lost those experiences.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, um,
Okay.
yeah, there's some fond memories for sure, obviously, but I guess there's not going to be more memories. So that I guess that's the sad part, I suppose.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see what you're doing there, Ishmael, which is exploring that and then looking for the positive parts of that. And he definitely had a little reluctance or resistance to do that. And I noticed that you just gently move forward to help him recover the those positive feelings, those values that were there. And then he's mentioning a couple times I noticed that well, there won't be any more. There won't be any more. And at that point I can guess that you're starting to see, there's that's loss and how he's representing it. Is that what you were thinking as you were going through it?
Yeah, definitely. It's
Mm,
like I was exploring a little bit and checking. So
yeah.
sometimes it may not have been, or it might not be the best moment, or it might just be that the person like doesn't know how you're going to be able to work through that. And so it's just gently exploring a little bit to determine like, okay, like is that something that we
Yeah.
can address. And then he mentions like the typical, which is like those experiences are lost, right? So that's
Yes.
the typical component of grief, is like you
Yeah.
had so many valuable experiences and they are lost. It's like I will never have them again. And
Yeah.
that makes people sad, right? So sadness
Yeah.
comes from the loss of a valuable experience. And at this point I go like, okay, that's grief. That's where I determine it's grief.
Yeah, I noticed. I could see you can sort of conclude that when you said that, you look like, okay, you recognized, oh right, this is grief, and what to do next. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think that just kind of highlights the importance of this pattern, right? I mean, he has all these memories that of positive memories with his father. And it's like in that typical avoidance pattern we see a lot of times with resistance anyway, right? Like the things that he wants to be able to experience, but they cause pain. So I'd rather just not experience them. Uh,
Mhm.
and that just, I guess, speaks volumes for how powerful and important this pattern is in resolving grief. And I've also noticed sometimes a pattern of guilt, associated like in grief, and then people are guilty whenever they experience those values in other areas of their life, like joy or happiness, when they're still grieving. Well, they've kind of healed the grief. Um, yeah, it's just very limiting in so many ways. So super important.
It's a different level of
Yes.
sadness as well. Like we could literally tell, like when he was referencing the different groups, and then he went to that sadness, and then you could tell like the nonverbals were like going down another level. And then I think, yeah, again, like Ismail, you did really, really well, gently, but like firmly testing basically, all right, where do you want to go from here? Which then helped him to work through that resistance. Because he said like, well, maybe it's not a good thing to work on this right now. So like he tried with everything he had to get out of this, and you did a great job there helping him to stay on track.
Yeah,
Yes,
stay present with it.
and also we often emphasize on how important it is to stay focused on structure, which you, by the way, mentioning is you don't need so much content, and this type of information, how you smoothly navigate to actually, and that's the beginning, but from one process that you were about to do, that type of content information actually is good to know, and how you smoothly navigate through another approach due to that content. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great, man. So let's check what comes next. So resource experience and submodality comparison. This is the next step where we're going to find an experience that's resourceful, that we can use to transform that experience of loss. And we're going to compare the experience of grief with that resource experience. Can you think about some experience you had in the past? Maybe someone that you met in a period of your life and that you never met again, but like when you remember those experiences, it's not with the feeling of loss, it's with that, cheerful feeling that,
Sure.
connection of, it's like a resourceful feeling of all the good
Yeah.
feelings of those memories.
Um, someone that I met, never met again. Yeah, actually, I have someone. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, like when you think about this person, how do you feel?
Yeah. Good. I think it was great. It was a childhood friend that we used to hang out with, and then they moved away and we lost touch. And I was like 8 or 9 back then. But yeah, I mean, I remember those times. It was a lot of fun. We had good times.
Okay,
So yeah.
good. So if you think of the memory of your dad and this memory at the same time, where is each
Uh-huh.
one? Where is either one located?
Oh. Yeah, the dad one's up here,
Mhm.
and then the friend one's over here, like right in front
Okay,
of me.
over here,
Yeah, yeah.
down left, and the dad is up
More
right.
straight, slightly down, but right in front. And dad's up
Okay,
top, like near the top right.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, when you compare the two, what's different between them in terms of the submodalities, like size, brightness, color,
Hmm.
movement?
When thinking about my dad, um, is it all the memories or just a
The
specific,
positive
a
ones, the
positive
positive
ones?
ones.
Positive
Mhm.
ones, okay. Those are definitely one very much comes up. Yeah, actually, they're all slightly fuzzy.
Okay,
Um, they're definitely associated. There's no sound really, no kinesthetic, um, but yeah, other than location and size, um, I don't think there's anything else really,
okay.
you know.
So when you think of the friend one, how is it different?
Um, that one's a lot more. That one's actually disassociated, I think. Well, no,
Okay.
not really. It's kind of half and half, if that makes sense. I,
What do you mean? Like they jump in
because
and out?
yeah, not even that. It's I see a scene, like I remember a scene, but it's just all very fuzzy. It's very, very fuzzy. Like it was like, because like I said, I was like 8 or 9 back then, and there was other kids there. I don't know who was there. It's just, I want to say it's disassociated, but then I can jump in. Yeah, so I guess I do kind of jump in and out too. So,
Hmm.
more disassociated, I think.
Okay. Like you
Um,
see yourself first and then jumps in,
Mm,
jumps in.
Yeah, I don't even really see myself. It's like I said, it's just like very fuzzy in terms of there's people there. I don't know who the people are because again, it's little kids, whatever, back when I was,
Okay.
I
Do
was
you
a little,
know your friend? Like your friend, who your friend is?
hmm, he's not even in there. It's just the same. It's just a little weird, but yeah, he's not even in there. It's at his
Okay.
house, though. It's at his house in his front yard, and then he's somewhere. Um, and it's just a bunch of kids running around. Um,
And when you think about it, how do you feel?
yeah, I feel good. It was a fun time that day
Fun
specifically.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So what's different then, like between this one and your that one in terms of, there a difference in size or brightness or
Um,
color or vividness or
it's much bigger, this
this
one.
one's much
Yeah,
bigger?
much bigger. It's fuzzy, like very, very fuzzy. The dad one's much more clear for sure in terms of
Mm-hmm.
clarity wise. Um, Associated versus disassociated. Um, yeah, it's very bright too, much brighter.
Okay.
It was definitely a bright sunny day that day. So
Okay.
yeah,
So the one with your friend is much bigger, it's brighter, it's
yeah.
also fuzzier,
It's actually closer too.
it's closer.
Oh,
Okay. And is more associated or disassociated?
disassociated.
So you
Yeah.
see yourself actually there? When you say disassociated, you actually see yourself there?
I see it, it's kind of hard to explain. I see a shape that is me, that kid, if that
Mm,
makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's everybody's blurry, even myself. It's just, I
okay.
don't know.
Okay. And what about sound? Like, do you have any sounds?
No, not unless I think about it.
No tactile, like
No.
okay, not even when you associate.
I mean, I can hear it when I think about it, but yeah, um when I associate, come in, it's still kind of blurry. And it's in first person, so the scene changes as I get in there. But I mean, I can make the tactile, but there's nothing there off, initially, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Right?
If
Like
you make the tactile, what happens?
yeah, I mean, I feel the grass, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it. I mean, it kind of feels like I want to say there's a smell of like, summer. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's that smell,
Mm-hmm.
with especially in like, you know, grass and you know what I mean? Like just especially when it's freshly cut, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that kind of like a small hint of it.
Okay. Does that strengthen the feelings of being connected to this memory?
Yeah, I would say so.
What about the audio?
Yeah, I can hear some kids like laughing in the background.
Okay. Is it loud or quiet?
It's a quiet, maybe some birds, like normal sound,
Uh-huh.
like, normal, whatever.
Okay. Okay. Good.
The details that's
Comments?
there once you really put your attention on it, right? Details, it seemed like at very first he's like, oh, there's not many details, and then oh, there's more, and then there's a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like when he got to the smell of the fresh grass, he was completely there, okay, he's recovered all of it and he's feeling it.
Yeah. You're muted, Rasmus. I see your mouth moving, but you're muted.
Sorry, I was just saying that I love the way that you give him so good space to
Mhm.
reflect, and that's really great.
Cool. So the intention of this part is really to have one experience. So at the essence of the grief, there are usually two things. There is people usually remember how the value of the experience ended. In this case, the death, right? And people also, when they remember the good moments, they remember in submodalities, in a structure that means it's lost. So the idea that an experience is lost is much more in the structure than it is in the content. Because if you think about it, there is someone in your life that you feel as present in your life right now, and that's not in the room.
Mhm.
So when you think about this person, you're not directly experiencing this person, but you know that they're a present part of your life, and you feel connected to all the experiences that you have with that person. So essentially, what changes when you think about someone who is not present right now in the room, and about someone who has passed away, is how you are thinking about it. So it's the thinking process and the structure of how you structure that. And in this case, you have the submodalities are a big part of the structure, which is like the size, the brightness, if it's in color. In his case, I wanted to contrast the difference between an experience that he experiences as fully resourceful, where he can access all the good feelings from then,
Mhm.
versus the experience of that he felt as lost, right? In contrasting both, we can see that the experiences of uh, uh, um, the experiences of connection where he's connected to this childhood memory are bigger and brighter and fuzzier, and they're in a different location. And I also was trying to help him recover the full sensory experience of it. So he initially had the visual, and I wanted him to recover also auditory information, also the tactile sensations, and he even got a smell, because that makes a richer type of representation that allows for more details and really to fully relieve those resourceful feelings. So now we have the structure of both. We have the structure of an experience that feels like it's lost, and we have the structure of an experience that he can experience fully right now, even if it was long ago, right? With someone who he will probably not see anymore, right? So the difference is really in the structure of the representation.
It's very reliable, isn't it? That how we code things for loss and presence. And I noticed something about what you're doing there that I have often seen in my own work too, is the first difference, the key thing he was talking about was location, right? So dad was up here and then he had a present memory down lower here. So there, that's recovered. And then it was whether or not he was associated or disassociated. And then it got into how that was represented visually. And then as you worked with him, going more and more into it, then those sort of finer details were coming as slowly until the smell of the grass, and then he was grounded in that. And that's typically how it works for me and how I've seen other people the same. You see the broad strokes at first.
Yeah, it was really a great example because of how long ago it was and how much information he could access, for the time. It's pretty fascinating.
So let's see what happens next. So at this point, what we want to do is we want to use the structure we have discovered from that memory from the past that he can fully experience as a present resource in his life. And we want to put the experience that he was feeling as loss, like the experience with his dad, in that same structure. So let's play with it. Let's pick this memory of your dad, like the positive ones, the memories that you actually miss,
Right.
right?
Sure.
And let's use the same structure of the memory with your friend,
Okay.
right? So it won't be the memory with your friend, but you're going to use the same structure.
All right.
So I'd like you to imagine that you're bringing that memory with your dad and you're putting that in that same structure.
Yeah.
So it's more front and slightly down, and
Yeah.
it's much bigger and it's much
Brighter.
brighter and closer. And you can even maybe see a shape of yourself, and then
Yeah.
you can step in and recover the tactile sensations and the
Yeah.
smells and
Sure.
a little bit of the sound, like
Right.
normal volume.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice.
Okay.
Um. So I'm having, because I know the thing's fuzzy, and I don't want to make it fuzzy. Like there's something in, like, everything's fine as far as like the brightness and whatever, even tactile and sounds and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's becoming fuzzy anyways. So it's okay. Like I was saying, like, yeah, so it's fine. I mean, I don't know, there's something like mentally that I kind of want to keep it very sharp as possible, those images, but
Mm-hmm. You can
yeah, I mean,
play test with one
okay.
way and the other
Okay.
and notice which one you prefer.
I actually prefer the fuzzier one. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's
What
fine.
difference does it make when it's fuzzier?
I don't know. It just feels more cozy, I guess, if you want to make, if that makes
Cozy.
sense. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
it's maybe more, yeah, cozy is the right word. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you grab a blanket or something that's very fuzzy and whatever, it kind of, or like, I don't know, you pet your cat or something, it's that sense of,
Mhm.
yeah. I think cozy is the word. So
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Good. It's closer, like it's
Yeah.
cozier and okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Good. So do you have any objections to experiencing the memories with your dad in this way from now on?
No, I don't.
Okay. How do you feel?
Good. Really good, actually.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You.
Put the mapping across.
Well done. Yeah, Ismail, that was so graceful. Like, you just asked him to move the whole thing all, and he did, right? Rather than this take a long time, just go ahead and move it. And I was curious when he said that there was an issue with the clarity versus fuzziness. Did you interpret that as a form of resistance, and then ask him to try out either way which he preferred? Is that what you were doing in that moment?
Good question. Good question. Yeah, that was definitely an objection, and you have a few choices on how we can go about it. We could have worked with the part to integrate and discover what the positive intention of the part was.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I chose to just kind of suspend the objection for the moment to let him fully experience the new experience. Because sometimes when you're building something new, there are those parts of us that goes as, "Oh, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know this. That's unfamiliar," kind of thing, and you just need to open some space for the person to fully experience the new choice, and then they can choose, right? That's the direction I went. And when he fully experienced it, he was like, "Oh, I actually prefer the fuzzy one, right? The
Yeah,
fuzzy version."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and then the objection was undone. Like after the part of him, whatever part was objecting, could fully have all the information about the proposed change and how it would be like, he was very satisfied with the result.
Yeah, I could see that in his demeanor, very congruent with, okay, this is better, this relief and connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this part, what I want to do is we want to get some clarity on the values that the experience that he is reconnecting with fulfilled. So that we can he can know how to aim them in the future, right? You want to be clear about what values are fulfilled so that he can then focus on having those experiences in the future as well. Great. Now let's do one thing. Let's think about the memories with your dad, like those valuable memories
Yeah.
that you can now access as resources
Yeah.
within yourself. What are the values that those memories fulfill? Like, what are the values that you were fulfilling in those memories? What's
Um,
valuable about those experiences?
just uh I feel loved, you know.
Hmm.
So I guess lovable, because yeah, I guess belonging,
Hmm.
you know. I guess kinship. I don't know if that makes, yeah. Yeah, there's kinship, I guess. If kinship,
Kinship? What's
yeah.
that?
Um, it means like it's a familiar type of thing, like related to like family and whatnot. So let me look it up because I don't really know what the precise definition would be.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, kinship is referred to socially recognized relationships between people through blood, marriage, or adoption, forming, social connections, specific context. So like, I think it's probably a little bit more than that too. It could also be like a tribe type of thing, if you have a tribe of, um,
Okay.
let's see, definition, blood relationship in this case, is what the definite.
So what's important to you about the tribe, belonging and the
Um,
tribe aspect of it?
hmm, I don't know. I guess safety. It's you feel very safe. Um, what's important? Let me think. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think of the lineage and the people before me and them before them and how I got here, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And that gives you a sense of what, like
I don't know.
when you belong and you're part of a tribe, what does that do for you?
I don't know. I don't have the words to really say. Um, mm, connection, maybe.
Mhm.
Connection. There's a sense of awe and wonder, you know,
Mhm.
like like if you think about it, it's like the chances of you getting here is just like astronomical. And the way it happened, because if you start from your first ancestors all the way up to where we're at now, it's kind of crazy if you think about it, you know what I mean? What are the odds that you or me or whatever that we would be here, in this exact configuration, if you want to think about it that way, it's just kind of insane. Not insane, but it's kind of hard to imagine. Blows
Okay.
your mind. So
Okay. Good.
yeah,
So these are the aspects of the relationship and the
yeah.
experiences that you value, right? Love, this belonging and tribe that brings you the connection,
Hmm.
this sense of awe and wonder that's present.
Sure, yeah.
Is there anything else that you valued in those experiences?
Hmm. I mean, happiness, joy, they're there too, right? Um, Fun sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think those are
Nice.
there in some of them for sure.
Great.
You know,
We're now clear about the values, right? What he valued in the experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice that you just gave him the time to really explore that. I think that was really important.
Yeah. Yeah. So why that's important is that because now he can rebuild those experiences in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So fulfilling those values is not locked in his past. He can fully access those experiences, but he also can direct himself towards the future in a way that fulfills those values. So that's the beauty of knowing his values.
Yeah, that's very powerful. We were talking before about those values, or when we have that with someone else, it's a reflection of what we value. We connect to it in ourselves, And so if a person is lost in some way, whatever it is, that we can feel like, oh, we've lost this value. So if I lost a person that I was really close with, and I've lost my spontaneity, in a way, that's what it feels like. And I see what you're helping to do here, which is like recover that value and then put it into his future, right? So it's still there, and you'll be able to experience that again. That's super, super powerful.
Yeah, and also how this is building him with helping him having more flexibility, more option in his response to events by actually, hey, as you mentioned, Brent, you value love, you value belonging. Let's see how you can, have more possibilities in the future to actually fulfill those values in various way, which is one of the main components of NLP is giving, helping people having the freedom, the flexibility and empowerment to actually respond to events in the way they want. And usually that comes by more choices. And you actually that part, one of the components is, hey, let's build some flexibility here and some options for you in the future. And it's very powerful.
Yeah. So let's see what happens next. The next component is future pacing. So bringing that to the future, as we have been talking about.
Yeah.
So let's make a list of those values that are what you found valuable in the experience, like the love, the connection, the awe and the wonder, the happiness, the joy, the fun. Imagine that you're listing all those values. And then pick many of those experiences and I'd like you to start to stack them, those experiences with your dad, the experiences that you value, like a deck of cards.
Okay.
As you're stacking them, you can allow them to start to glow a little bit.
A glow?
So glow, yeah. So I have this stack of glowing cards
Okay, yeah.
of
All
the
right.
experiences that you value.
Okay.
And
All right.
then I'd like you to imagine that you're casting them into the future,
All right.
allowing them to land in different moments in your future so you can have a trail of sparkling
Sure.
dots
Nice. Okay.
representing
Yeah.
those memories in your future.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
Okay, how does that feel?
Actually, amazing. It's very emotional. I'm feeling very emotional right now, but in a good way. So yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely.
So that's the.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's definitely worth a little emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
So it's I like that more metaphorical way of spreading it into the future. It doesn't have to be too specific. You can just let the values be stacked and some examples of those experiences. At this point, you can have the person even imagine some experiences in the future. Like I opted there to make it just more metaphorical because metaphors, we learned that is part of the self-concept too, right? The function of metaphors and how they can help you spread experiences and resources through the different situations, right? So I did it more metaphorically, and he had this, positive feeling.
This is such a powerful tool that you brought here. So I gather you're doing a transformation of a counterexample. Like this is how it began, and you recognize the opportunity to use this pattern. And I can see how beautifully that's just fitting into, the work that you're doing within that framework. And I assume after this, you would then return back to counterexample transformations, having dealt with this powerful area. That's very cool.
Definitely. Exactly. So the next part is integrating that into his self-concept under the quality of joy, being joyful, which is the quality we have been working with.
Yeah.
And then that container, that big structure that is the self-concept is so important, right? So we kind of ran the NLP technique as a sub process within a larger process of changing his identity. Yeah, so that's how we can integrate any NLP techniques and processes into the structure of the self-concept. And that's also why I recommend people to learn the self-concept first and then dedicate to NLP techniques. Because if you have that structure to work with, then you can plug in anything, which is very different than just working with random processes without structure, right? And also, all that we learn there help us understand what's the function of each step. So you guys can probably recognize being trained professional self-concept coaches, how all the things that we learn in the self-concept are playing out here in this pattern, right? And how they came up, like the values, the parts, all the structure, how each step makes sense for us because we know how identity works. Yeah.
It's fantastic because we're seeing him in real time being able to be now in a way more resourceful state, place, going forward as well too. He will be. That's terrific. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see the next part, the integration. So integration, testing, and closing the session. We always want to test our work as well. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Good. So any objections?
Nope.
Okay. So let's pick those memories and let's integrate them in your database of joy,
Okay.
including
Right.
the sparkling dots.
Yep. I grabbed those two. All right. Sweet.
Okay. Does that strengthen your quality of being joyful?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
Nice. Okay. Good. So do you want to work with something else, or do you want to keep at that and give yourself time to process what you have done?
I think time to process would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Cool.
Good. So let's box the other account, for example, since somewhere
Okay.
safe,
All right.
knowing that you'll go back to them and
All right.
just give yourself some time to process this. This that we did is the grief pattern.
Wave pattern?
Grief.
Oh, grief pattern. Okay.
Grief pattern.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty intense, I think. I have to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So looking back to the beginning of the session, what has changed?
I think joy's a lot more solid, for sure. And I don't really feel sad sometimes. I mean, maybe I will at some point when thinking about my dad. So there's like the sadness part's kind of missing now, which is good. I think that's yeah, I think thank you. That's even best thing you could have done for me today. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's really awesome. Thank you.
Good. So that was the session. I still have the follow-up, but comments?
Yeah.
Final part.
That was really quick. Just quick check, integrate. How did it strengthen your quality? And I really liked where you gave him the option there to process. Obviously, that was a big shift for him. You can tell. And I also like the way that you said just box up the counterexamples. We can get to them a little bit later. So you put those in a safe place and reassuring you'll get to that. Not important right now, and allow him to experience the shift. And yeah, and I could just, and the thing that he said there, Ishmael, which is pretty much why I do this work, is he said, this is like probably the best thing you could do for me today. And you can tell he's, healed in some way. And that's just marvelous. Yeah.
Not only you transform his quality and you strengthen joyful, but you also help him with, this very sad experience. And I mean, his demeanor says it all alongside what he says. So
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And thank you to him also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony was kind to let us share this transformation,
Absolutely.
and so that more people can benefit out of it and understanding how it works. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could see in his face how he was
Mm-hmm.
pretty emotional. So I thought, okay, that's probably a good moment to stop and just give him some space to process.
Yeah.
And I usually don't follow up much via email because we have regular sessions. I usually have regular sessions with my clients and I follow up in the next session. But in this case, I wanted to follow up to check how he was doing, and he shared with me that he started doing things and that he before he was not doing, and everything was much more flowing, and he was pretty happy with the change. Um and then like in the next session a couple weeks later we talked about it a little bit as well, where he shared what he has experienced, which is the next part of the video. It's the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Let's check the follow-up.
Hey, Ismail, how are
Hey
you?
Tony, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
I'm fine, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank
good,
you.
good.
Awesome.
All
How
right.
have you been?
Not bad. Pretty good actually. Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see your email because usually you don't follow up with like an email. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, things are good, man. I don't know if it was something with uh what we worked on specifically or everything just together started coming together and it all built up and I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter which one it is. I mean, I'm getting like really good results. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm getting
I
through.
follow up because like this is like a deep process, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a specific process for grief and stuff. So I wanted to
Yeah.
check how you work.
Yeah, I feel like resilience and other things like that, like even other things that are sad or whatever don't affect me as much. I feel like I don't want to say I'm less emotional, but I think I'm more even and I don't there's less of a swing between, emotions, or like when
Mm-hmm.
so like I'll hear a sad story or something like that, and I won't feel as affected by it, especially since it has nothing to do with me, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think everything's good, man. Really, really good.
That's so good. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's such a neat example. I mean, that you have majority of the world, a lot of people look at their past and the challenges that they've experienced and say that's the reason why I'm not who I want to be.
Mm,
This is such a good example of with the right work, with the right skill sets, everything that's happened to you is can be the richness of who you want to be,
mm,
just so based on how it is structured. So, man, I just got to say, well done. The rest of his trajectory from here on out is he's got more choice, like Pierre was saying earlier.
mhm,
Yeah. And I have to say, like he's very coachable. He's very good to work with. He definitely does his part, and he shows up fully present to the sessions.
mhm,
And right, so it's that's also a very important component because we are the guide, right? But who does the transformation is always the person,
mhm,
and with
mhm.
our guidance, of course, and being
Yeah.
fully present and showing up
Yeah.
is very important.
Absolutely right. He looks like a person who's got the commitment and the willingness to go to those places, right? That takes a lot of courage. So good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. One thing to say as well is that effort will transform that experience, all the other experiences, the counter examples we call them, like
Mm,
those negative memories changed, he gave a hint of that in the follow-up,
Mm,
but we checked more thoroughly, and we didn't have to transform those experiences of frustration and anger. It was all gone with with that
oh,
one. Yeah,
spontaneous. Oh, wow.
exactly.
Wow.
And that's a result of seeing the similarities between all the experiences at the beginning of the session.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is again one little piece of the self-concept model, right? So going back to this, people sometimes they ask me, okay, like there's so much to learn, where should I focus first?
Mhm.
And I can share my experience because I had been studying NLP for some time before getting to know the self-concept model, and I was trying to understand it. And there are so many techniques and processes, etc. When I learned the self-concept model, when I went back to the rest of NLP, it all made sense.
Mm,
Yeah, because it gives you the structure that's necessary for you to understand each one
yeah.
of those processes and be able to even not be dependent on a recipe. You can even craft your own processes whenever it's needed because you know the principles of how it works.
Mhm.
So it's important again to highlight that this is part of a larger work where we have been working through qualities until he got to this point where you go, oh, it's all coming together now. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so this is also so important to highlight that structure is so important. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he
That's the
also mentioned resilience, which is an element of, a healthy self-concept.
mm,
So it's, good details like that it seems to get like a really good momentum, and he seems very, very happy about it. So yeah,
mhm.
that's
yeah,
great.
Well, Ismail, thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
thank you for being here and for your great comments
For,
and insights.
for those of you that have stayed here with us and watched and listened, I want to encourage you to underneath this video share your biggest takeaway, and thanks for being a part of our larger mission. And if you have any questions, please reach out.